21 killed in Texas school massacre by Travis Caldwell, Seán, Federico-O'Murchú, Adrienne, Vogt, and Aditi, Sangal, CNN. What we covered here: 19 children and 2 teachers were killed in a shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas on Tuesday, officials said. The 18-year-old gunman was not confronted by a school resource officer outside the building, officials now say, and he apparently entered through an unlocked door. Police officers who arrived and confronted the shooter called for more resources, an official said. After about an hour, tactical teams forced entry and fatally shot the suspect, officials said, as questions about the timeline continued to surface. Just before the mass shooting, the shooter allegedly texted a teenage girl about his intentions to attack. Authorities said he shot his grandmother before heading to the elementary school. She remains hospitalized. President Biden and the First Lady will visit Uvalde on Sunday, the White House said, to meet with families who lost loved ones and speak to community leaders. Catch up on the latest details about Tuesday's mass shooting at Robb Elementary School from CNN staff. Local law enforcement authorities on Thursday provided a more detailed timeline for Tuesday's mass shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, that left 19 children and 2 adults dead, but many questions remain unanswered. Victor Escalon, South Texas Regional Director for the Department of Public Safety, told reporters Thursday that they are still grabbing a lot of information regarding the shooting. We're going to find out with all the different agencies that are involved. We're working every angle that's available. We won't stop until we get all the answers that we possibly can, he said during a news conference. Meanwhile, the White House announced that President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden will visit Uvalde on Sunday to meet with families who lost loved ones and speak to community members and religious leaders. If you're just catching up on the latest developments, here are key things to know. What authorities revealed today about the timeline of events inside and outside the school. As Collins said that the suspect, Salvador Ramos, shot his grandmother and then wrecked his truck in a ditch outside the school at 11:28 a.m. local time Tuesday. He exited the truck with a rifle and shot at 2 people across the street, as Collins said. The gunman then approached the school and shot at the building multiple times and walked in through an apparently unlocked door at 11:40 a.m. local time, according to Ascalon. The door is normally locked unless you're leaving to go home on the school bus. Former Principal Rose McLaughlin told CNN's newsroom on Thursday. Ascalon said the gunman was not confronted by a school resource officer outside the school. The same law enforcement agency previously said an officer had engaged him, who walked in unobstructed initially, Ascalon said. According to the current information available, Ascalon said there was not an armed officer readily available. Inside, the suspect walked into a classroom and fired more than 25 times, Ascalon said. The majority of the gunfire was in the beginning of the attack, he added. Officers arrived at the school at 11:44 a.m. local time, but when they went to confront the gunman, they received fire and took cover, Ascalon said. They called for more resources and personnel, evacuated students and teachers in other parts of the school, and at some point entered negotiations with the suspect, he said. A U.S. Border Patrol tactical team came to the classroom, forced entry, and fatally shot the suspect after about an hour, he said. Thursday's news conference underscored the confusion and disorganization of the police response and failed to answer questions as to how the gunman was able to remain inside the classroom for such a long time. CNN reported Thursday that the Uvalde School District, where the shooting occurred, had a safety plan that included its own police force, social media monitoring, and a threat reporting system to provide a safe and secure environment for students. The two-page document on the district's website lists 21 different measures that it says it has undertaken for the safety of the school community, ranging from an app for reporting bullying to physical security measures like fencing and a buzz indoor system. It's not clear to what degree the plan was developed with active shooters in mind. Officials defend response. Uvalde Police Chief Daniel Rodriguez issued a statement Thursday defending his officers' response to the shooting. Two responding officers were shot by the suspect but are expected to survive. It is important for our community to know that our officers responded within minutes. Alongside school resource officers, he said. The Texas Department of Public Safety, DPS, meanwhile said officers who responded to the shooting saved lives, despite waiting before physically confronting the suspect who was holed up inside the classroom. A spokesperson for the agency said that officers did not have enough information on the exact location of the shooter to do an immediate takedown. Details about the identified victims. McKenna Lee Elrod, 10, loved to play softball, do gymnastics, and spend time with her family. Her smile would light up a room. Allison McAuliffe, McKenna's aunt, told ABC News. McAuliffe described her niece as a natural leader who loved school and was a light to all who knew her. Jayce Luevanos, 10, has been identified as one of the victims by CNN through a GoFundMe site set up to raise funds for funeral expenses and family needs. Jay's grandfather, Carmelo Quiros, told USA Today that Jayce and his mother lived with him. He said the 10-year-old was happy and loved. He was our baby, Quiros said. Alithia Ramirez, 10, was in 4th grade and loved to draw. Her father, Ryan Ramirez, told CNN affiliate KSAT. He said she wanted to be an artist. Joyla Nicor Silguero, 10, enjoyed dancing and making TikTok videos. Her mother, Veronica Luevanos, told CNN network partner Univision. Joyla did not want to go to school Tuesday morning and asked to stay home, but Luevanos said she told her no. Jacqueline Jalen Cazares and Annabelle Guadalupe Rodriguez, both 10, were cousins, classmates, and friends. Jacqueline's father, Jacinto Cazares, told reporters that she was full of love and full of life. She would do anything for anybody, and to me, she's a little firecracker man. Nevi Elisa Bravo, 10, put a smile on everyone's face. Her cousin, Austin Ayala, told the Washington Post, adding that her family is devastated. Lexi Rubio, 10, has been identified by her parents as one of the victims. Felix and Kimberly Rubio celebrated their daughter making the RA honor roll and getting a Good Citizen award at Robb Elementary on Tuesday, shortly before the shooting. In a text message to CNN, Felix and Kimberly Rubio said she was kind, sweet, and appreciated life. She was going to be an all-star in softball and had a bright future, whether it's sports or academic. Please let the world know we miss our baby. Jose Flores Jr., 10, was one of the victims. His father, Jose Flores Sr., told CNN. Flores said his son was in the 4th grade and loved baseball and video games. He was always full of energy. Flores said, ready to play through the night. Flores also described his son as an amazing kid and big brother to his 2 siblings. Uzia Garcia, 10, has been identified as one of the victims. His family confirmed to CNN he was in 4th grade. His aunt Nikki Cross told CNN. His uncle, Mitch Ranfro, described Uzia as a great kid, full of life, loved anything with wheels and video games. He leaves behind 2 sisters. Eva Miralles, a 4th grade teacher, was among those killed. Her aunt, Lydia Martinez Delgado, told CNN she had been an educator for 17 years and in her off time enjoyed running, hiking, biking, and spending time with her family. According to her profile on the Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District website, Elma Garcia, a 4th grade teacher, has been identified as a victim and confirmed through a GoFundMe page, a wife and mother to 4 children. She was sweet, kind, loving, fun with the greatest personality, the page said, adding, she sacrificed herself protecting the kids in her classroom. She was a hero. Xavier Lopez, 10, has been identified as one of the victims. His mother, Felicia Martinez, confirmed to the Washington Post. He was funny, never serious, and his smile. Martinez told the paper. Mary Jo Garza, 10, was identified by her father as one of the children killed. Angel Garza posted to Facebook early Wednesday, my little love is now flying high with the angels above. Please don't take a second for granted. Hug your family. Tell them you love them. I love you, Mary Jo. Watch over your baby brother for me, said the father. Eliana Ellie Garcia, 9, was among those killed. Her family told KHOU. Rogelio Lugo and Nelda. Lugo, Eliana's grandparents, told the Los Angeles Times she loved the movie Encanto, cheerleading and basketball, and dreamed of becoming a teacher. Eliana Eliza Cruz Torres, 10, has been identified as one of the victims. Her aunt, Lindra Vera, told CNN, our baby gained her wings. Vera said. Tess Mary Meta, 10, has been identified as one of the victims. Her sister told the Washington Post the 4th grader loved TikTok dances, Ariana Grande, and the Houston Astros, and was saving money so that the whole family could go to Disney World, her sister said. All the fatalities and injuries took place inside one classroom at Robb Elementary, officials said. The conditions of the 6 hospitalized victims of the shooting have remained the same, according to hospital officials Thursday. The 2 funeral homes in Uvalde will cover the cost of funerals for those who were killed Tuesday. Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District, UCISD, has opened a memorial fund to accept donations for those affected by the shooting. Blocked bill in Washington. Meanwhile, in the nation's capital, Senate Republicans on Thursday blocked a bill designed to combat domestic terrorism from advancing in a key vote. The vote comes as lawmakers are under intense pressure to take action in the wake of multiple recent episodes of horrific gun violence. The bill passed the Democratic-controlled House last week following a tragic mass shooting at a supermarket in a predominantly black neighborhood in Buffalo, New York. But Republicans have pushed it back against the measure put forward by Democrats, describing it as partisan and unnecessary. At least 10 Senate Republicans would have needed to vote with Democrats to overcome the 60-vote threshold imposed by the filibuster. The failure of the domestic terrorism bill in the Senate underscores yet again how challenging it is for lawmakers to enact any kind of major policy change in the wake of mass shootings amid a highly polarized political environment and widespread GOP opposition to stricter gun controls. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer called for the Senate to take up the House-passed bill, but acknowledged ahead of the vote that it was unlikely to advance amid GOP opposition. He indicated Democrats are willing to give some time and space for efforts to reach some kind of bipartisan compromise on gun legislation, though he noted the odds are long. He also made clear that these efforts will not be given an unlimited amount of time to play out, and that if they fail, the Senate will move forward with votes on gun safety legislation. On the Republican side, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell told CNN he met this morning with GOP Texas Special Educational Needs John Cornyn after Cornyn returned from Texas and encouraged the senator to begin discussion with Democrats to see if they can find a middle ground on some legislation to respond to the shooting in Texas. CNN's Eric Lebanson, Holly Yan, Joe Sutton, Clara Foran, and Ted Barrett contributed reporting to this post. Family of 10-year-old Alithia Ramirez says she wanted to be an artist. She was a very talented little girl. From CNN's Sarah Smart. Alithia Ramirez, 10, has been identified as one of the victims killed in the Robb Elementary shooting. Her father, Ryan Ramirez, confirmed the information to CNN affiliate KSAT. Alithia was in 4th grade, Ramirez said, and loved to draw and wanted to be an artist. On Wednesday morning, Ryan posted to Facebook a photo of Alithia with angel wings. Alithia's grandmother, Rosa Maria Ramirez, told ABC News, "She was a very talented little girl," adding that she loved to draw. She was real sweet. 10-year-old Jayce Luevanos, identified as school shooting victim. From CNN Sharif Paget. Jayce Luevanos has been identified as one of the victims in the Uvalde, Texas shooting. CNN confirmed the information through a GoFundMe site set up to raise funds for funeral expenses and family needs. We're all deeply saddened by the news received from the Robb School shooting. It breaks my heart having to create a fundraiser for such a need, but Jayce's parents, Christina and Jose Luevanos, needs as much help as possible in these terrible times. Jesus Cardona, who organized the verified GoFundMe campaign, said on the site. Jayce's grandfather, Carmelo Quiroz, told USA Today that the 10-year-old and his mother lived with him. He said Jayce was happy and loved. "He was our baby," Quiroz said. Veronica Luevanos, Jayce's aunt and mother of shooting victim, Jarla Nicor Silguero, posted a picture Wednesday on Facebook of her daughter and Jayce and wrote, "My baby, you didn't deserve this. Neither did your classmates and cousin Jayce."